the evidence of a peaceful town. This looks as though, and in fact, that's what it is, downtown Highland Park. Downtown Highland Park. Here you have a nail shop. You have a barber shop. Other places, perhaps the evidence of businesses that are no longer here, that are soon to be filled by small business owners looking to flourish in what's supposed to be God's country. A place where on the 4th of July, celebrating our nation's independence, this was supposed to be a peaceful day. This was supposed to be a day where families come out and they celebrate the beauty of family in a town where it has been said in the media that it does not happen here. You hear of Chicago violence all the time. You hear of Chicago being used as a punchline all the time of the violence that can happen and that does happen in our communities. We don't have that here. We don't have that here. Well, on July 4th, 2022, it happened here. And those of you all who have followed me before, you have heard me say it can happen here. Here at this nail shop, you see the evidence of a stroller left in place. Other evidence of families dropping what they had in their hands. Dropping what they had in their hands to flee to safety. Evidence of candy being thrown to the ground, perhaps by parade members from businesses and organizations, throwing candy to passers or onlookers in celebration of this nation's independence. The evidence of a stroller and an open bag. The evidence of other belongings right next to that little French guy, bakery and cafe. Didn't even have time to grab their belongings. Didn't even have time to grab their things that they brought with them. And just when you say it can't happen here, it did. I have said it before and have said it again. Though I understand the need for common sense gun legislation, I will tell you this. The more you keep saying it can't happen here, the more you begin to ignore families, regardless of race, the more you begin to support bullying and not paying attention to children and teenagers when they tell you about their problems, when they tell you about bullying, when they tell you about things that are bothering them. The more you begin to ignore those things, you will find out that it can happen in your places, in your areas. the more you begin to use Chicago, Illinois as a punchline, the more you begin to ignore your downtown, beautiful American towns where you think we don't have violence here. We don't have those problems here. And I was just asked previously by a reporter, what do you think the problems are? What do you think the problem is that caused what they believe to be an 18 to 20-year-old white male to get on top of a roof and shoot at people who look just like him? They asked me, do I think it is the gun? I said, I would like to find out about his background. I would like to find out about his family. I would like to find out about him in school. I would like to find out how many times he's been bullied and no one paid attention to him. How many times he's been ignored and no one paid attention to him. How many times he's had behavioral issues and cried out for help and no one paid attention to him. That's what I would like to find out. Don't talk to me about the gun. Tell me about the behavioral issues that cause people to think that this is the way to make your name known. It is so easy to blame on the gun. And this is how you know. This is how you know that they didn't have time to think about anything. There is an iPhone still left in the cupboard. Whoever was sitting in this seat didn't even have enough time to even think about grabbing one of the things that people would jump the platforms for. Didn't even have time. And it is so easy to blame it on mental health without making parents and parental accountability the focus of what builds candidates for criminal behavior. It is so easy to focus on the rifles and the guns and the gun manufacturers and the tools of violence that cause people to use something that could dispatch human bodies so quickly without focusing on the human behind that, without focusing on the fact that the family may have seen some of the mental issues that have occurred and may have reached out to family members who could not help or did not want to help. Reached out to social services for help. Well, I'm sorry, you gotta take a number. You gotta take a number because we can't help you. We don't have the time. We don't have the resources. How is it you have a parade on the block, a major artery into the downtown area, and you don't have the high ground? I wish I could zoom in right now. Take a look on top of that building. Look at what you have there. You have police snipers on top of the buildings. Why didn't you have that before? Why is it you wait like the movies until after the tragedy to come out here and protect these citizens? I know it's so small you can't see, but I will keep it still. Look on top of that building and see these snipers on top. You have a sniper rifle on a tripod. Why didn't you have that before? If the president was coming to town, all of these rooftops would have been covered with snipers as a part of the outer barrier. All of these would have been covered. Why do you have it now? The situation is over. It's over. It's over. And look at these people who ran for their safety. They ran for their safety. They ran for their safety, leaving their items behind. Now, I'll give it to you that these items are not as costly. It's not as though they left Birkin bags behind, but nevertheless, they left items behind, running to their own safety. Running to their own safety in a town where it was said it doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen here. Well, I am here to show you, happen here it does. And it will not stop until we start to make families matter.